Hello everyone and thank you for tuning in to Drumattic. Drumattic is a drum shop based in Frome, southwest England and specialises in vintage drums, repair, restoration, custom builds, backline hire, recording and more. In this video we're going to be looking at the Beverley Galaxy 21 outfit from around 1969, which is when it first appeared in catalogues. We have a 22 by 14 inch bass drum. It's not the most stable with its original legs, so I'm adding some additional clamp-on Premier spurs here just to give it a little bit more stability. Here is the 13 by 9 rack tom. This is all finished in grey silk pearl, which is a lovely 60s 70s finish. I'm going to be using some 70s Premier lock-fast hardware with this. It is flush bass, so kind of similar to the original stuff, but it's a bit chunkier. It's probably got to be my favourite hardware. Here is the Beverley Cosmic 21 snare drum to go with this kit. By far Beverley's most popular drum. It's an aluminium shell and 10 lug, very similar to the Ludwig 400. Here are 14 by 14 and 16 by 16 floor toms. Originally the kit would have only come with a 16 inch floor tom, the 14 inch has been added later. The shells on all of these, apart from the snare, are 3-ply mahogany with beech reinforcement rings. Quite thin compared to today's shells, but quite standard compared to shells of the 60s. Now, these all have slot-headed tension rods on, which is very popular for British kits of this era. I do often have vintage keys to fit in the shop, and I do also do Drumattic replica keys. For those interested in heads, the bass drum has a Remo-coated Power Stroke 4 on the batter and the original smooth white Everplay on the Rezo with a felt strip running along that head. Toms have Remo-coated Ambassador batter heads and smooth white Everplay Rezo heads, and the snare has an Evans G1. I'm going to be using some Zildjian 1960s Avedis cymbals, which is an 18-inch crash ride and a set of 14-inch hi-hats. The drums do have adjustable internal dampeners, which currently are switched off, but I will be turning those on halfway through the video so we can get a feel of what those sound like. Microphone-wise, I'm going to be using a D112 on the bass drum and a set of C214s in a Glyn John style setup. That's the kit, and I'm now just going to do a very brief overview of the history of the Beverley brand. In the early 1900s, there was a company called Dean & Sons, who were expert metal fabricators based in Yorkshire, in a town, funnily enough, called Beverley. In the 1920s, their casting and chroming skills were being used to make consoles for most British drum companies such as Premier, Carlton, and Ajax. By the mid-1930s, they had their own Beverley brand of drums, stands, consoles, and accessories. In the late 50s, the owner of Beverley wanted to retire and privately sold the company to Albert Della Porta, the founder and chairman of Premier Drums. Premier, however, didn't outright own the Beverley brand, and the companies were still kept quite separate, predominantly due to the existing market that Beverley already had. This meant that even though Premier technically owned Beverley, Beverley did have its own staff, development and distribution. This resulted in Beverley paying Premier to build drums for them, for the drums to be rebadged and distributed by B&H, that's Boozy and Hawks. That carried on until the late 70s when B&H exited the market. The Beverley line then sort of merged in with the Premier drums and it became the Premier Projector series. With that all said and done, I am now just going to hydrate with some tea. Everything tastes better out of a Drumattic mug. It might add a bit of belly to you though, which I'm just realising watching this back. So let's hit some of these drums and hear how they sound. So those internal dampeners I mentioned earlier, they're sort of like a little pad which just pushes up on the batter head of the drum from the inside, and you can tighten and loosen it so it's completely on, or it's slightly on, or it's really pushing up. These dampen and muffle the sound, and they get rid of some overtones, and they also kill some resonance, so you should be able to clearly hear the difference. This kit is currently part of Drumattic's backline and hire, so you can hire this kit for recording or video purposes. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.